Hello, and Jai Shri Mataji Sobik.
Jai Shri Mataji, Uncle. Daniel,
Jai
how
Shri
are you?
Mataji, and hello to everybody who listen to us.
Jai Shri Mataji to all as well.
Jai Shri Mataji to all the people who happen to watching us. Um, Today, we are Sobik Sharma and Daniel Boston. We are very pleased to say hello to everybody. And I'm very pleased that finally I managed to talk with Sobik officially because for the people who doesn't know, we belong to the same New Zealand collectivity. We know each other for about probably 20 years about. We will talk soon about his coming in New Zealand. For the moment, I just want to tell you a few things about Sobik. After that, I will let him talk about himself. For us, it's a very strong addition to the New Zealand collectivity since he came. Also, Sobik is part of our actual council, but he was in other councils before. He's also member of the trustee of our association and the ashram. He will talk more about that because I'm not very knowledgeable about all this organizing stuff, but someone have to do it. So luckily we have people like Sobik who do that. But he's also a singer. He sing with his beautiful voice. He sing also to harmonium, his wife singing, his daughter sing and dance, his son, which is only, sorry, 6 years old, or if I'm wrong, you will correct me, play tabla.
My daughter is 13 now, and son
Your
is
daughter
9.
is 13, your son is 6 or 7.
9, 9,
Now it's
9.
turning 9. I'm behind. But also, Sobik is the author or the co-author of a very famous song worshipping Sri Kartikeya, which probably some of you knows. About all this kind of stuff, but also about the Sahaja Yoga from Nepal, because Sobik is from Nepal, I want to talk today. So, Sobik, um, what are you doing now? How is Sahaja Yoga in New Zealand? Uh, Seems that I don't know, but for our
Uncle,
audience.
actually, you are breaking up, actually. So
Okay.
internet probably is not really good.
So, do you want to start again, or you are, for a moment you are freezing. You hear me?
Now it looks like okay. Yeah, it looks like okay now.
It looks like okay now. Maybe we will
Yeah.
edit those moments. But if what I said is recorded, I will continue to play it. So, you are okay
It
with
looks like internet is not good, Uncle. Somehow.
on your side, because
I don't know.
I don't have
My
any problem.
your end, I don't.
Really?
Oh, right. Okay. Maybe here then. But
Okay.
it is showing me the full connection, so I'm. But
Yeah.
anyway, okay, let's continue. No problems.
Sorry for that technical interruption. We are used with this kind of stuff. But let's take only the good things. The fact that we can see each other and we can share with you our stories. So, Sobik, I want to ask you, who are you? What, how are you in New Zealand? How you came in New Zealand? What are you doing now? A few things about your family, which I already touched, but you will tell us more what you want to touch. So. The mic is yours.
Okay, thank you, Uncle. So if I'm not being broken my voice breaking up. Then my name is Sobik Sharma. Originally, I'm from Nepal, born in Nepal. I left Nepal in 2007, came to Australia for higher studies, along with my wife, Sukriti. And we came to New Zealand in 2012. A job brought me to New Zealand. Then since then, I have been in New Zealand for the last 13 years, almost 14 years now. I came into Sahaj in 2002, got my realization in 2002. Um, After my realization in 2002, that was about June, July, the time was. My first experience was going to Ganpati Pule in that very year in December 2002 and seeing Srimataji in person there. And in last 23 years in Sahaj, I have, I think, gained a lot of experience and also have grown into Sahaj. I don't know how much, but I think I have grown. The ability to, I wouldn't say ability, but the experience to understand who Srimataji is and to feel who she is and how she guides us and how she loves us, how she helps us grow and how she looks after us. That has sunk into my being very slowly, 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 because as I started, I was a very, very questioning person. So I would question all the time. How is it possible and who Srimataji was and all that. So being a questioning mind, it took time for me to settle down and understand what she really is. So I started Sahaj when in 2002, and I was in uni at that time in Nepal. And my wife, Sukriti, was also in the same college. She was my junior 1 year. I used to take tutorial classes to the junior students. So being one of the good students, you can say. So they asked me to take the tutorial classes, and that's when I got to know her. And I used to then like observe her, and she used to go early on Saturdays from the college. So I asked her one day, why on Saturday especially you go early, and she said to me that because in Nepal, we understand this the puja and worshipping. It's very common and understandable. So nobody says that, oh, you follow or you believe in God or something. It's not like new or surprising. So she said to me, her exact words were, "I go to a puja every Saturday." So I thought, oh, they must be very religious family, like they go puja every week. So I said, okay. And then for a few weeks I rested and let it sink in. And then one day I asked again, like, what sort of puja it is, like what temple you go to and what god you worship. So that's when she brought me little booklet that had the introduction about Sahaja Yoga, and um, asked me to follow whatever was written in the book. So I took the book home, and after a few days, I thought that maybe just give it a go. And it was a big smiling photo of Sri Mataji on the booklet. And back then we were like, if we saw Babaji or Mataji, we were like, oh, we're not going to go ahead in that path. So because everybody, as Sri Mataji explains, the false gurus were rampant, or even they are now. And we kind of, being young people, we said that, oh no, we're not going to believe in this or whatever. But then I opened the book, I started reading it. It was written in Nepali language, so it was easy for me to understand as well, everything. And it was written in there, exact words were, to ask Srimataji on her photograph with a candle on, that Srimataji, I accept you as my guru, I don't know anybody else other than you from today. Please give me my self-realization. So I said, okay, let's try that. I was open to it, so let's try that. I lit up a candle, put Srimataji's photo, then I put my hands on towards Srimataji and said exact those words. And when I said those words, I could feel a little cool sensation on the middle of my palm on both hands. So I said, oh, this is something that is interesting, you know. So, and then I also thought maybe, you know, like this cool is coming from windows. So I shut up the windows. I even shut up the door and even blocked the little gap under the door, you know, with a piece of cloth. And I sat down again and I said the same thing again and I could feel again the same thing. So I said, oh, okay, this is something interesting. So I went back to Sukriti and asked, my question was very innocently, I asked, is your Kundalini awakened as well? And she said, yes, I can feel it too. By then we had grown into a relationship. So I didn't know anything about Sahaj, but because we went into this understood relationship, we didn't express anything to each other as such, but we knew that we are going into kind of relationship. We're aware of that. So after that, she said that, okay, now I will take you to the center. So she took me to the center, meditation center. And two girls, herself and another Didi, they raised my Kundalini from the back. But that day I couldn't feel anything actually. I don't know why. But they asked, "Did you feel anything?" I said, "Yes, yes, I felt." You know, like so I didn't want to make disappoint them, so I said, "Yes, yes, I felt." So, but that day I couldn't feel anything. And after that, Sukriti told me that you and I are going into a kind of a relationship, so it is necessary for me that we practice Sahaja Yoga together in the future. So I said then, because Sahaja Yoga was a condition for me to go into the relationship. So I said, okay, no problems.
You like the girl.
We'll see what happens in the future. But for now, I'm okay to go ahead.
You
Yeah.
like the girl.
So that was, yes. So Srimataji put her in front of me as a temptation, I would say, like a little prasad, and said, so this is what you are going to stick into the Sahaj Yoga for a while until you understand what actually it is, So it went on, but I was also a kind of a spiritual person before that, in a sense that
Yeah.
I grew up in a Hindu family. And my grandfathers, you can say, him and his brothers, that generation of Brahmins in Nepal were staunch Hindus. So I not only thought that the rituals that would happen in our home were kind of, I wouldn't say useless, but I didn't see any meaning in them.
Yeah.
And I used to always make fun of that actually in front of them, dared to do that. But in silence, I would go up on the rooftop of my house, and because you could see nice sky at night, I would go whenever I was in trouble with something. I would go up to the roof and look at the stars, and I would pray to every god that I knew, including Hindu gods, Christians, Islam, Judaism, everything. So every god that I knew existed, I would pray. Somebody would listen. So, I was open to the idea that either God is one. If God is one, then every religion or all the people from every religion who pray to the God must be the same God.
Yeah.
The God cannot be different. And Hinduism says God is one. So it must be the same God. So why problem, like that's what my thinking was back then. And before Sahaj, I actually had a little problem with my liver. As in, I used to get yellow my body used to go yellow every year, once at least.
Okay.
And it was not due to virus, not due to anything. And doctor didn't know what it was. So it was unexplainable. And
That's a sign of
exactly at that
hepatitis.
time, I was looking for, sorry, sign off?
It's a sign of a disease called hepatite.
Hepatitis, yeah, but doctor said not even hepatitis. He
Yes.
couldn't say it was hepatitis. I don't know what it was.
Okay.
So it must be some sort of, I don't know. Then my grandfather used to, he had subscription for some Hindu magazines, and they had some meditation techniques in those magazines, and I was a little bit interested in them. But I could not start that. Luckily, Srimataji just pulled me out of that time and gave me realization exactly at that time. Otherwise, probably I would have gotten diverted. I don't know. So she kind of saved me at that point in time. And because I was frustrated with this yellow thing and going sick every year, and somebody had told me if you meditate it will be good, maybe it will go away. So I was looking for a way to meditate basically. And there was my cousin as well, and he's still in Sahaj. He lives in USA. His name is Hitesh. And he and me went to the center together for or started going to the center every day because it was close to our house, actually 15-20 minutes walk, and we never knew it was there before that. So every evening we would go there, we would sing some songs, we would meditate, we would have some fun, like there were people there. So and one night, now my mother-in-law, Sukriti's mom, came to the center, and I was just sitting meditating, and she came at my back and just raised my kundalini like this with her hand. That was the first time I ever felt a very distinct and quite overwhelming uh, sensation of the cool breeze, starting from the base of the spine right to the top of the Sahasrara and all over my body. So, and I looked at the candle flame. I said, something must be going on inside, like the breeze was going. I was questioning everything. But candle was very still. Nothing was moving, but I was still engulfed in the breeze. And that night was the first time I ever experienced distinctively that there was this power within me called Kundalini. Then I brought few other friends from the uni who were in my class, and they also got interested. They started coming along with me every evening as well. And one of them could play dholak. One of them was a very good singer. One of them was audience, and I laid my fingers on harmonium. There was a harmonium there in the ashram, so, and dholak as well. And that attracted me, and I started putting my finger on the notes at that from that time. So I was about 22 years old then, or 21 actually, 21 years old. And so that is the story of me getting realization or feeling the Kundalini for the first time. Um, but then I would say it took me years and years to actually ask for my spiritual ascent. I didn't understand what it was for years. I was feeling the cool breeze. I was even doing the programs, like helping people get their self realization and all. I could feel the catches in my hands, even on my body, chakras, everything. But to sink in the fact that Srimataji was Adi Shakti and Srimataji is that supreme, all pervading power, it took time for me. I wish I had understood that a lot earlier, but then that's how my journey was. So I accepted that as a fact that that's how different people have different journey in spirituality. So from 2002 to 2018, I came to New Zealand in 2012. 6 years after coming to New Zealand, then only I began to ask Srimataji, I need to experience Sahaj in reality. I do everything here, but still there is something lacking. I go to ashram, I play bhajans, I sing bhajans. I enjoy that, no doubt. In my head, you are Adi Shakti. But I think still there is little bit, in my heart
Yeah.
that has not sunk in. So I asked Shrimataji herself, that Shrimati, now please, how you do it, I don't know. But I'm ready. Please let me know this. And I was expecting some sort of miracle and everything, but nothing happened. But after few months, I didn't have to doubt. The doubt actually went away
Uh-huh.
somehow. I don't know. So that was a miracle
Yeah.
for me. It just happened.
Yeah.
My heart, probably it was already ready. So she just worked on it. And that was the moment of what you call, um, how do you express this in English? The I don't know, I felt that's it. I felt that's it. I felt peace
Okay.
in my heart that okay, that's what it is. You know? And from that point onwards, my actual journey started of meditation. So I began to enjoy meditation now. Instead of sitting down in a routine,
Yeah.
I began to enjoy meditation. And the Kundalini itself expressed herself multiple times in a day. Like she would just come up and she would put me into meditation without me knowing even. And I would just find out that, oh, I am in meditation, I'm feeling this bliss already. So I would just sit down for, even I'm at work or anywhere, I would just sit down for a few seconds, even like 30 seconds or a minute, and just enjoy that expression of Mother Kundalini within me. And so everything now I have understood about Sahaja Yoga, or about this love from Shrimataji, is it is nothing but the bliss that you experience of everything that is around us. And it doesn't have to be a big thing, small thing.
Yeah.
You see a flower. You see, for example, I went to a nature walk last weekend with Shambik and Sukriti, and it was a dam in Auckland, and we went down from the road, and then there was a little waterfall, and that water, when you looked at the waterfall, you felt thoughtless already. And then we walked through, and the dam became visible. The water, the you can say, the magnanimity or majesticity of water was such that it was so overwhelming. You could just look at that and enjoy it.
Yeah.
So I began to enjoy and feel that from nature as well.
Yeah.
Uh, so, and in addition to that, when you run the program, you give realization to people. Um, I begin to feel where their Kundalini was. Like when their Kundalini would be completely above Sahasrara, then I could also feel that.
Yep.
And I could tell them, now it is there, you can feel it, so put your hand up. So that practical experience, you can say, has come. And basically I have begun to enjoy things. So perspective has changed, and that joy Shrimataji talks about, that I didn't understand what it was. Probably I don't even understand it completely, but that joy I can feel. And I'm really, really, very thankful to Shrimataji. So me coming to Sahaj was a little temptation
Yes.
that Shrimataji put in front of me. This sounds funny, but that's how I came into Sahaj.
Wow. Uh, I hope everybody can see the genuine the genuinity, the sincerity of Sobik, which I can assure you that he's like that all the time. So he's a very genuine person. Um, I will ask you now, Sobik, what are you doing now? What are you doing in New Zealand? You have a
That is
job.
also a story. Yeah, there is also a little story about that. So we came to Sydney in 2007. We were already married by then in Nepal. 2006, we got married in December. And our the person who conducted our marriage, which was a Sahaj marriage in our collective, was the one of the first um, person, or one who was a pioneer of Sahaja Yoga in Nepal. He and his daughter got realization the first time among the Nepalese people that I know of. I could be wrong, but that's what I was told. Um, and After that, we came in 6 months' time. We came to Sydney, 2007. Everybody knows Srimataji was there in 2007 Ganesha Puja in Sydney, and we got a chance to get remarried in front of Srimataji. And that was also a big boon. Now I think about it, back then it was like, oh, Srimataji is there and we're getting married in front of her. It was not a big thing as I understood back then. But now I think of it, it was a big blessing, because I think after that, not many marriages took place in front of her.
Yep.
So then I was a student, so we got on with our student life and all. But one thing we'd never um, interrupted was our usual collective attendance in Sydney. So every week we would turn up. We also had told our work that Saturday evening we are not going to be available no matter what. So we always attended Sahaj collective in Sydney, and it was a big growing experience for me in Sahaj Yoga. It was a little bit different to what it was in Nepal. There were few things to decondition myself with, and then relearn the things about how collective was done, how flexible and I would say easy was in Australia than it was in Nepal. Nepal was a little bit strict, so. But both have their own advantages. Nepal and Australia being strict and being a little bit loose, and loose, not that doesn't mean that bad. Loose means it was easy and it was comfortable actually.
Relax.
Um, so we got on with yeah, relaxing. Yes, that's the right word. We got on with our student life. I finished my degree. Then it was 2009, global crisis, financial crisis. It was very difficult to get a job. But Srimataji had different plans. So I did happen to do internship with a guy with a company, you can say, who did consulting work for a software. And that software, the developing company or the mother company, is a Kiwi company, New Zealand company. So the connection was made that way.
Mhm.
Then I left that internship because it was an internship, so I had to finish it in 3-4 months time. But at that time, I made kind of a good impression in New Zealand. So New Zealand people were happy with me, the way I handled things. So after that, I wanted to have a job, or applied for job. In total, I think close to 900 applications I put, and not a single application resulted in an interview. But then I suddenly got a message from my friend who was living in Darwin, and he said that, why don't you apply a job in Darwin? And he told me that you just need to be standing on your 2 feet with your heart beating in Darwin, and you'll get a job. So I said, okay, let's try that. And I applied for a job at 10 a.m. in the morning. By 11 or 11:30, they called and called me to come for the interview at 2 p.m. But I was in Sydney, and I said, no, I can't come today, so I'll come tomorrow. So they said, okay, no problems, 2 p.m. tomorrow. I went there at night, and by the time all this was happening, I was getting a phone call, and that Sukriti was out buying a bottle of milk. And when she came back, I was ready to go to Darwin. So it was so spontaneous and happened very quickly. And then we went to Darwin. There is a little bit of backstory to that, but probably not relevant right now. We went to Darwin. We spent 18 months there. Our daughter was born in there, Gauri. And it is a humid and hot and humid place, Darwin. We did have a good bunch of people who got realization in Darwin as well. We ran programs and everything. So mother probably wanted to do few work through us. Few yogis from Western Australia joined as well to be in Darwin for some time. So we ran the program, did some pujas and all those. And then the time came to move. I asked Srimataji, where should I move? You know, and because this connection was there with the New Zealand with this company, but I never expected this to happen. I asked him, I put in my little chits, I put New Zealand, I put Perth, I put Canberra, I put Sydney and this and that, and then put it in front of Srimati. Srimati, please help me pick one and check the vibrations. I picked one and it was New Zealand, but there was no prospect of job or anything back then. So I thought, how, although I put the name there, but there is not a single chance. But I wait for a few days, and I got a call from the guy in Sydney saying, "Oh, I heard you are moving out, from Darwin. So we've got a position in Auckland. Do you want to go to Auckland?" I said, "Yes, why not?" Because I checked the vibrations. New Zealand was there. That was easy decision for me. Although I did not want to change the countries, that was a big thing. Like coming from Nepal to Australia and then again from Australia to New Zealand. It was a big thing. The decision was easy to make, but again, still the question in my mind. Like how, like what's going to happen. And Then I got an interview with these guys. They called me in Sydney. They flew from here to Sydney. We had a little chat. They offered me some salary, and then I went back, and nothing happened. And because I was not happy with what they offered. And I told Srimataji, if this is what it is, then, how it worked out that New Zealand was, the option. So again, after I waited, then again, after a few days, they called again. And I said, okay, what is the issue? What do you want? Was the question. So I said, money is not enough. So this is what I earn in Australia. At least I should get equivalent. I'm not going to come where money is less now than what I'm earning right now. So they said, okay, no problems. I'll give you this much, and in 6 months' time, we'll give you another raise and this and that. So that was the story. And then I came here. Initially, it was agreed that I would get a training here for 6 months. We'll go back to Australia, work from Australia. But since I've not gone back, I'm still in that 6 months has not happened yet. I haven't gone to Australia.
The long 6 months.
So yeah, it has been a very long 6 months, and I don't know how long it is going to be either. So as long as Srimataji wants. So Srimataji decides when and how. So I have not changed that job either. I was about to in the middle, but then about 2 years into the job, I thought, maybe I should change the job, just on a whim. Then in that, just around that time, I heard in a talk where Srimataji said, everything's planned for you. Like you just change job whenever you like. The divine plans these things for you, and you just interrupt their plan by doing things in your whim. And I said, oh, okay, let me not do that then. Let me just, whatever it is, Srimataji will decide. And when she decides, things will just work out smoothly, spontaneously, and we don't even have to worry about it. So as long as that is going to happen, I'm fine and comfortable with this job, no problems. And Srimataji has looked after my company, I think, looked after me. Even during the COVID time and all, our company was going smooth. Many businesses were closing down, but it was all good, and we didn't have to go down on our salaries or anything. No compromise, nothing, and it was a big blessing, I think. So that's where Srimataji wants me for what whenever whenever she wants. So so I'm just floating along, I guess.
Yeah.
And she knows better whatever is there. So in New Zealand, as far as spirituality is concerned, my growth in Sahaj, this this is the place now in last 13 years. I think this is the place I've been a longest for as a Sahaja Yogi. 13 years is the longest time I've ever been in one place. And the growth has been really good for me. We've got small but beautiful collective. We do have our instances in our collective, but we get together to resolve the problems when they arise. And we and there is yeah, it is different. It is different in New Zealand in a way that I've found Sahaja Yogis who are really serious about their growth in Sahaja Yoga, who are absolutely committed and doubtlessly aware about Srimataji's Srimataji's what do you call origin, not origin, who Srimataji is basically, she being Adi Shakti, right? So, and I have taken that inspiration from those yogis, and it has been beautiful journey so far. And I've seen little kids being born and growing up and going into the adulthood in this span of time, growing into teenagers and all, and it has been a beautiful journey. We have had chances to do music programs different part of New Zealand, and I think I sometimes feel that I was born in Kritika Nakshatra, so Nakshatra being, so, and Kritika being
I know,
mothers
but
of
I know,
Sri
but you have
Kartikeya.
to tell to the audience.
Yeah. So being mother of Sri Kartikeya, I think I was destined to be in New Zealand, and probably I belonged in under the umbrella of Kritika, or Pleiades, or Matariki, you can say, in New Zealand language. So yeah, I'm really thankful. I'm enjoying my life, and as a Sahaja Yogi, I don't feel I'm a special person. I'm just like any other human being, but I think the difference being self-realization um, between others and us as Sahaja Yogis, the ability to feel mother's love for us,
Yeah.
that makes us different. But that doesn't make us bigger than, or in higher pedestal than other people. In fact, we are here to share that love with other people who don't know yet what that is. And in that way, we are kind of a Srimataji's army, you can say, who are there to serve the rest of the humanity.
Yeah.
And through us, Srimataji does spread that love that she wants to the rest of the humanity. So I really want to be in at that level where she can use me, um, and I myself enjoy that as well.
Um, I have to add a few little things. Just because we are getting close to our agreed time, and you have to go in 10 minutes according to my calculation. Um, First of all, to thank you very much for everything you told us. Again, with a lot of sincerity, a lot of genuine openness. A few things I didn't know, so I have to admit that I was uh, surprised. I mean, pleasantly surprised about your stories and about your journey. But I want to give you a preview about our future meetings, because obviously we still have unfinished business, like I like to said. We have to to develop a little bit more about what we just started to say. So obviously the rest 9 minutes we have won't be enough. So uh, I just want to set the um, index for the next for our next meetings, which probably will be in a week from now, because you don't have too much time. Um, I'm still interested in how the things are in Nepal, because not many people have the chance to talk with someone who's been in Nepal, especially on the spiritual side, and point it directly in Sahaja Yoga as much as you practice Sahaja Yoga in Nepal. You said already something about the strictness of Nepalese culture, which it's normal because it's a Hindu based culture. Also, a little bit of comparison between the Nepalese direction of Sahaja Yoga and the Western one, because we still a Western country. Even Australia, we consider ourselves in belonging to a Western world. And not finally, but sometimes I want to talk about New Zealand Sahaja Yoga as um, strong worship of Sri Ganesha and strong awareness, Sri Kartikeya, sorry, Sri Ganesha and Sri Kartikeya, because the awareness and the worshipping of Sri Kartikeya in New Zealand, it's one of the, I believe, looking around, it's one of the strongest in the world. So that is one of my favorite subjects, which I touch it with nearly everybody I'm talking with, no matter from where he is, because we are so passionate about, we, all of us, all the Sahaja, all New Zealanders, we are so passionate about Sahaja Yoga, and many of us were the first in the first line of pushing, pushing the awareness and for Sri Kartikeya in the world.
Yes.
Because if you talk with everybody from around the world, they admit that they don't worship Sri Kartikeya too much in the beginning, but slowly, slowly, lately, as it's happened, and I said in myself, look, we put a little bit, we help a little bit on that one, because we make it all the time um, um, talking about and doing puja, doing worship, and make everybody knows. But um, about all this kind of stuff, I don't want to start it now, because we will stop in the middle of some stories. I want to talk next time with you, uh, plus the music, plus the song, plus the again will be related with our worshipping of Sri Kartikeya.
Yeah.
So for the moment, I want to thank you very much, Sobik, for sharing this beautiful experience with us, for your sincerity. I hope our viewers will like it, like they like many other things we put it there. And I want to thank you all for watching us, and we'll see you soon. Jai Shri Mataji.
Jai Shri Mataji, thank you to all the viewers as well, all the Saj Yogis and Yoginis. It is my
Jai Shri Mataji.
pleasure to be able to share this with you, and probably listen to your experience as well later on.
And we will take that as a promise. We will come together again.
Yes. We'll see you again. Thank you. Jai
See
Shri
you
Mataji.
again. Jai Shri Mataji.